This is the fourth generation of the Maruti Suzuki Dzire. This car is priced between 8 to 12.1 lakh rupees on Mumbai. So yes, the prices have gone up dramatically. However, we have got a 5-star rated Maruti Suzuki car before GTA 6. Yes, this car has got top rating from Global NCAP in terms of crash test rating, which is amazing because finally we have a Maruti Suzuki car which is safe as well, which means bye bye DKL fanboys, because this car is going to set the sales chart on fire. In terms of competition, it obviously competes with the Honda Amaze, the Tata Tigor, and also the Hyundai Aura. And that's the reason the perfume for today is the Aura from Involve Your Senses. This is the Involve Elements Aura. It's a nice black icy perfume. It's a blended fragrance. It smells awesome and it really refreshes your mood because once you spray it inside the cabin, it really lifts the ambience of the cabin dramatically. So go check out the Aura. I'm talking about the car perfume, not the car yet. Anyways, straight away, let me show you the key of the car because we've got a new key as well. What's new? This is the same as before, but now we have a button to unlock the boot of the vehicle, unlock the car, lock the car, and that's about it. Not much has changed, to be honest. Straight away, let's open the engine bay because this is, at the end of the day, a Swift with a boot. Not really. You can see that the engine is vibrating a bit because one cylinder down now, power has gone down, and yeah, torque has also gone down here. So that's a bit disappointing because Maruti Suzuki is like fuel efficiency for the win. There is insulation there, of course washer fluid goes in right there, but there's so much space in the engine bay because this car was made for 4 cylinders, not for 3. The design has been revised quite a lot, so no longer it looks like a Swift with a boot because the front end is super different when compared to before, which is amazing because now this car has an identity of its own. Coming to the lights of the car, they will actually remind you of Audi lights. Yeah, these are full LED lights. Okay, this is halogen, this is the LED DRL. These two elements are actually for the high beam, rest are obviously for the low beam. You obviously get LED fog lamps as well, but you also get a front parking camera, the Suzuki logo, piano black finishing there, a chrome there, a strip running right there, which is kind of cool, and a hexagonal sort of a grill. Yeah, I mean the grill is actually quite big with 6 slats as well. The design looks awesome. The design looks amazing now. Yeah, it never looked amazing to me before, but now it definitely looks awesome. In terms of dimensions, it is the same as before. However, it is taller by 10 mm. So in terms of length, it is 3995 mm, which is basically the length is under 4 meters. But in terms of wheelbase, it's the same as the Swift, 2450 mm. The ground clearance is 163 mm. So this actually looks better now the way the roof has been done. So it doesn't look like someone has slapped on a boot to the Swift. Much better design. Good job, Maruti Suzuki. In terms of tire size, 185, 60, 515 is the size of the tires. Diamond cut alloy wheels. The mid variant has different design, I think, for the alloy wheels. You get a camera here. What are you talking? A sub 4 meter car getting cameras everywhere, which is amazing. And you get a request sensor here, which Hyundai does not offer. So Maruti lets you enter from either of the side without having to remove the key, which is again awesome. Space at the rear is actually good compared to the Swift, where the interior gets the beige treatment for the seats and slight color differences and more features. Otherwise, it's the identical interior to the Swift. So I'm not complaining because the Swift's interior is actually quite good. Space at the rear is actually quite nice. Under thigh support is obviously not the best, and headroom seems to be adequate for someone as tall as me. Yeah, my cap is almost touching, but then for a car of this size, it's actually quite nice. You get a center armrest, which I will open from here. Yeah, it has a center armrest with twin cup holders as well. It gets ISOFIX child seat mounts, 3 proper seat belts, but center passenger, no head for the center passenger. You get a handle to hold on to. Light placement here on the top. Why on the top? Why not in the center? Because it gets a sunroof, first in segment sunroof, awesome. Rear AC vents, and you get 2 charging sockets. One is a USB-C and the other is a USB-A. This is scooped out. There's a magazine holder here. No height adjustable seat belt. 6 airbags as well. It's actually very impressive, and the dashboard is very similar to the Swift. However, color changes have been done to distinguish this car from the other cars in the segment, rather specifically the Swift actually, which is not in the segment actually. What am I even talking? Door pockets are small here. Again, beige treatment and all that. Obviously, lot of hard plastics, and doesn't seem like they've added any weight to the doors. Although the doors are new, the fenders are new, and they've changed the contouring to make sure that production costs also go down, because at the end of the day, this is a budget car. Fuel goes in right here, but now it's also available with CNG right from launch. At the rear, things are a little similar when compared to before because the lights look kind of similar to the older model. The boot as well as the bumper are also similar. Slight differences here and there. You get this connected chrome line here. This is halogen. Even the reverse light is halogen. This is LED and have this gloss black finishing, a subtle spoiler as well, shark fin antenna, high mounted stop lamp, center passenger's head is missing, and you obviously get a camera here. You get 4 parking sensors at the rear. Awesome. Meanwhile, the exhaust is hidden right below and it vibrates a bit because this car is now having 3 cylinders. Straight away, let's open the boot. I think the boot is around 382 liters and it's very messy right now. But the boot carrying capacity is increased by 4 liters. So not much. Minor increase, and you obviously have these metal plates for better crash worthiness. But why is there so much exposed stuff here? How difficult was it to cover it? In fact, a lot of exposed wiring here. They should have covered it. Yeah. Why have they not covered it? Cost cutting of another level altogether. Spare wheel is not an alloy. 165 80 14. Another way to cut cost, obviously. And the boot actually opens if you have the key in your pocket and if you are near the car. Yeah, that obviously is how it works. But in case you are not having the key in your pocket, the boot will not open even if the car is unlocked. So I think that's a safety feature of sort. Obviously, the indicator has been given on the outside. The door pockets are decent size at the front. Only one bottle can fit in right here. Illumination only for the driver's side, which is a one touch as well as a one touch. I mean, both one touch up and down. But these switch gears are actually very dated now. They come from the Swift back from 2005. So they need to change this for sure. Unlock the car, lock the car, child lock, and obviously to adjust the outside rear view mirrors. Yeah, electric. And you have chrome handle here, which is good. They've used beige. They've actually used a lot of colors in this car to differentiate it from the Swift. Beige color seats are nice. Actually, the seats are quite comfortable. Says airbag here. And you get a proper dead pedal as well. This is to open the hood of the vehicle. This is to open the fuel lid. And this is to open the boot from the inside. Meanwhile, this is for stop start system. This is for the headlight leveler. This is for traction control. This is for the 360-degree parking camera. And this is the engine start button. All right. Everything is so similar to the Swift. Nothing has changed. However, you actually get a sunroof, which is a single pane sunroof. It's not very big, but then at least we have a sunroof now. It opens in 2 steps, obviously. Let me just close it. Do I have to keep it pressed? No, I don't have to. And it has, I think, some tinting on it, which is a good thing. So yeah, this is a first in the segment thing. Here you get a mirror. Here you do not get a mirror. You just get a strap here where it tells you ticket holder. Otherwise you would have put your laptop. But a car which has a sunroof does not get an auto dimming mirror. Is quite baffling. Light controls here on the top, but we need an auto dimming mirror obviously. Let's shut the door. Not much of a thud as such. This is a 9-inch screen, which is very complicated to pronounce because this is the Smart Play Pro Plus. Why is it such a long name? Let me actually turn off the lights so that this becomes bright. Car has no fuel right now. Let me remove this sticker firstly and let me show you this awesome screen because firstly it's very easy to use. I don't want to fill up fuel. It's the same thing in almost every Maruti car. It says 4.2 kilometers per liter. What happened to 24 kilometers per liter claimed? Well, the car is obviously been idling since some time, but real world mileage is obviously not even close to what Maruti claims, and that's something which is expected because ARI does any sort of mileage. So here, let me get into this menu. It tells you the driving. And there's nothing interesting as such. It's the usual bit, but it does get something known as footwell lighting. Where did that go? I was searching for it. Actually came in between and it vanished. So yeah, things could be a little easier and more smoother, but I think there's some sort of light which actually comes out from here. The glove box is also decent size, but there is no cooling function here and it's a bit flimsy, which has been the case with most of the Maruti cars. We've got multiple colors here. So Swift has an all black cabin and the Swift gets some silver finishing here and there. This has black, beige, black, this silver aluminum sort of finish, this unpolished wood finish. Obviously this is fake wood and that's how it has been done here. Let's remove this plastic as well. Steering wheel is nice to hold. It gets the flat bottom treatment. It has this sort of a silver color as well. These are the controls for the audio system. This again is for phone call and also for voice command, and this is for the cruise control system. There's a wireless charging pad here, 12-volt charging socket, USB-A charging socket. So this thing obviously has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, both of which actually work wirelessly. Let me press the view button here to see this whole thing spin around. Where is the sunroof in this thing? I can't see it. So it's not very accurate to what obviously Maruti Suzuki has in the real world. Yeah, that is a nice view. Sort of remind me if I'm playing NFS. And let me try and see another view. Again, this car will spin. It's the same camera as other Maruti cars. This is an HD camera. It has a good view. Quality of the cameras is actually quite nice. Yeah, that's about it. Let me quickly get into reverse to show you the reverse parking camera. That is the 360-degree view from the top. You've got multiple views here, which is a nice thing. Side views as well. And when I turn the steering wheel, you have got adaptive guidelines too. Quite nice. I like it. And that obviously brings me to the fact that there is no front center armrest. I don't know why they have done cost cutting. Do they expect me to hang my hand in the air? And let me quickly put this tag right here, because this car perfume, the Involve Your Senses, or rather the Involve Elements Aura, is extremely easy to use. Firstly, I can carry it in my pocket effortlessly, and then all I need to do is just spray it twice like this. Did I say pray it twice? No.
We don't pray for love, we just pray for cause.
1, 2, and oh my god, I can feel the aura in the Dzire. Maybe I find it quite amazing as well. And I cannot play puns with the Tigor. This steering wheel is adjustable only for height. Yeah, that's about it. That's the only adjustment that happens. And the wipers work decently well too. However, you've got physical controls here for the air conditioning, and the air conditioning actually works nicely. It's a climate control air conditioning system, which is a good thing. You have got twin cup holders here. You get a nice gear lever, which is stubby to operate, and you get a handbrake here, obviously, which is nice. I like it. And that also brings me to the instrument cluster of this car, because it's analog, which is amazing. I think that's a 4.2 kilometers per liter. Is not giving me the hint that it is a 4.2 inch screen, but usually the size is 4.2 inches for that center multi-information display. You get an analog tachometer, which registers 5000 rpm, speedometer, fuel meter, no fuel here at all, and the temperature meter. In order to browse through this, I just press this button, so it gives me a lot of information. But you know what, they should have had a button on the steering wheel to operate this. Power and torque meters, I know that's quite old because the Baleno had it obviously long time back, so that's not something which is new. There is no heads-up display here. It should not have a heads-up display, because for the price, Maruti is actually offering us a lot. Automatic headlights, awesome. This car has also got ESP, hill hold assist, and a rear defogger in all the variants. And if you notice, they've actually scooped it out from here, because the sunroof has to go inside right here, right? Somewhere the sunroof needs to hide. This is obviously very flimsy. I just hope under heavy braking this doesn't close automatically. But a sunroof in a potential cab, because obviously this is not going to come to the cab market immediately. There's a whole story behind it, which we shall talk while driving. So let's go. All right, it is time to start driving, which means I turn on the car, and unless and until I click on the clutch, it's not going to happen. It makes this welcome sound, has a Suzuki logo popping up right there. Let's turn off the air conditioning. Suzuki logo is stuck here. Come on, I know it's a Suzuki car, but you can't be stuck there. Let's quickly change this parameter. Let's put the power and torque graphic meters.
Fuel level is low. Please fill the tank immediately.
Yes, lady, I know it has connected car stuff as well, so it's obviously telling me fuel level is low. Power and torque meters there. This keeps spinning. Handbrake down, and we will also turn off the traction control. There, it is turned off, and hazard lights off, and revving the motor, and off we go. Oh yes, that is what lightweight gets you. No, you don't have to navigate me to any place at all. Straight off the bat, let me tell you, the car does not feel enthusiastic enough. Okay, don't look at this, because there's a slope here, so I'm not giving it the beans right now. We're going to come to a flat patch of road, and then only we will test how the acceleration of this car is. So this is the Z12E engine. It's a 3-cylinder unit, and things are not that rosy when compared to before, because they have downsized. They've reduced 1 cylinder. They didn't need to do it, but they've still gone ahead and removed 1 cylinder from this car compared to the old K12 engine, which was just amazing. An engine which did not need any updates has been updated, unfortunately, or what is the opposite of updated, downdated or downgraded, whatever. So 1 cylinder down, but in spite of the fact that 1 cylinder has gone down, it's not like power has increased. Usually that is the case with downsizing. This justifies by saying that, you know what, we've increased the power and torque by using a turbocharger or whatever electric assist and all, which is usually the case. But no, here power has actually gone down by 8 horsepower, torque has gone down by 1.3 Newton meters, because the older engine, the K12, actually produced 90 horsepower and 113 Newton meters. This car produces 82 horsepower and 111.7 Newton meters. Why have they done that? In the interest of fuel efficiency, in the interest of emissions as well. It has a lambda sensor to manage all that. But crucially though, this car is having a high compression ratio for better thermal efficiency, and that's one of the major reasons why the overall efficiency has improved here. Emissions have also gone down. It feels peppy. Problem is, it's not smooth or silent, because lower down at idle you can feel the vibrations. The older K12 engine did not have any vibrations. It was vibe free, it was smooth and refined. This is not. There is always that vibration at the lower end of the rev range, and when you rev it past 3,000-4,000 rpm, it becomes extremely vocal, not in a good way. The older engine definitely sounded better as well, and it was faster by at least a second to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. So performance has been downgraded here in the interest of fuel efficiency, which has gone up by 2 kilometers per liter. In fact, this car is less efficient when compared to the Swift by around 0.1 kilometers per liter. Why such a small difference? Purely because this car obviously weighs slightly more, 20-30 kgs more. Not as much more as you would expect, because the Swift has a rear defogger. I mean, this also has it, a rear wiper washer, which is not there in this car. So some weight difference here and there, but overall, because of the boot, this car obviously weighs slightly more. The gearbox is new and it is slick. The clutch is a hydraulic unit. It is also very slick. Yeah, it's light, and the driving experience is fantastic because the engine has been tuned for drivability. It feels drivable, it feels peppy, it feels punchy, but power tapers off quickly from around 3000 rpm, so it doesn't have that grunt you would expect for enthusiastic driving. But for 99% of people, they won't really care because it's more efficient and it is definitely very much drivable as well. In fact, you need to short shift and get the job done. It even revs 300 rpm lesser when compared to before, because Redline now comes in at around 6000 rpm. So I'm a bit disappointed with the lack of high revving nature for a Japanese engine. But globally, this engine also gets mild hybrid technology. In India, no, they don't offer us that. In fact, they just gave us the stop start system. I thought they would have removed that as well, because a lot of stuff always gets removed in India. We need a turbo in this car. Not in this car, at least in the Swift, we should get the turbocharged engine from the Fronx. So yes, it's a easy, no-nonsense car to drive. In terms of fuel efficiency, expect around 14 to 15 kilometers per liter in the city, stretching to almost 18 to 19 kilometers per liter out on the highway. They also have a CNG now, right from get-go, which has almost 70 horsepower or 100 Newton meters of torque. I'm not sure about the exact numbers because the numbers are also a little bit weird, but CNG will really sell. But it's the fourth most efficient Maruti CNG car, because Maruti obviously has the Celerio CNG, the WagonR CNG, and obviously the Alto K10 CNG as well, because of which this car is like the fourth most efficient CNG car from Maruti Suzuki. But still, it's very smooth, very refined, and definitely very no nonsense car. There is no washer fluid inside right now, so that's the reason there was no water there. I love driving this car because it's so nice in terms of the gear shifts. It's very nice in terms of the clutch action as well, which begs the question, do you need to get an AMT in the first place? The AMT will obviously be easier to drive because you don't have to shift gears, and they have really refined the AMT, but still there is that lag between shifts. In fact, the AMT is around 3 seconds slower when compared to the manual, which is a lot, and steering effort is also very less. But the steering feels better than the last generation model for sure, but not as good as the earlier generation, the first generation of the Dzire, because that was like really hard and tough. This one has become very light, but it's still having better feedback than the last generation model, and it self-centers too, which is such a good thing. Yeah, the engine becomes very vocal. Horn is not that great. In spite of the fact there are two horns in this car, one on either side in the front, which you can clearly see when you see the grille of this vehicle. So performance, nothing impressive. Ride quality is actually very good here. It absorbs most of the stuff in its stride, and the handling is also decent because steering has decent feel. Body roll is well contained. I mean, it's quite contained because obviously the car is quite light now. And in spite of the lightweight, it's got top safety remarks, which is amazing. So 5-star rating for adult occupant protection, 4-star rating for child occupant protection. So that could be better, but 5-star rated Maruti Suzuki car will silence all the haters, all the critics of Maruti Suzuki, because who would have expected this car to perform so well? And how did it perform so well? Well, obviously they were aiming to give it great safety ratings. Earlier they were like, we will comply with all the emission rules and regulations as per the Indian government, but then they realized everyone is focusing towards safety, and Tata Motors is making hay while the sun shines by getting top ratings and selling their cars. So Maruti Suzuki is like, enough, bas kar, aur nahi hoga. We will get a safe car, and they've managed to do that, which is surprising and well appreciated as well. So I hope they also send the Swift, because Swift is the same car as the Dzire, for crash test. And if the Swift gets 5-star rating there, oh my goodness, game over for a lot of cars in the segment. Yeah, this is just starting off, and I don't know where it's going to end, but it's definitely going to end up better for Indian customers who now will have a fuel efficient car which is also safe, proving the fact that lightweight does not necessarily mean that the car is unsafe. And that's something which Mercedes-Benz proved long back when they had the David versus Goliath match, a crash test between the Mercedes S-Class, their flagship sedan, and the Chintu Mintu Smart 42. Both of them crashed, and both of them performed exceptionally well in the crash test, because in spite of being small, not necessary that you are bad. Brakes are decent, yeah, in spite of the fact that the tires are relatively small. Brakes are actually quite good here because of the lightweight. lightweight really helps in a lot of things, but we definitely need a sportier version of the Dzire. If not the Dzire, at least for the Swift, you have to offer us a sportier version. There you can see engine makes all the sound but doesn't really move forward so briskly. Same displacement as the older engine, which is 1197cc. In fact, the gearing is also the same for the first 3 gears, but for the next 2 gears, which is 4th and 5th, they have opted for taller gearing, which means the RPM would be lower when you are cruising, and thus better fuel efficiency. So they have really thought about fuel efficiency way too much. Do consumers really care so much about fuel efficiency? With the lack of diesel engine available with Maruti Suzuki, definitely it's become important for them to also focus on fuel efficiency of their cars, and that's something they have been doing since donkey's years, because Maruti Suzuki has always been about kitna deti hai, and this car absolutely excels. ARAI numbers will blow your mind. 24.79 kilometers per liter, something of that sort for the manual, and the automatic is, I think, probably slightly more efficient as far as the tests go, but in the real world the automatic is not more efficient because there's this nod under shifting, and then you really go hard under the throttle because it doesn't perform that well. It's quite slow. 3 seconds slow is like obnoxiously slow. Anyways, I think this is a good patch of road to do the 0 to 100 km per hour test. And into first gear, here we are. No, I think it's a bit of a slope, so we'll get going. Come on, pull. Look at it go all the way to the red line. That a Wagon-R is overtaking us right now. Yo! It's a very fun car to drive actually, because it's a pocket rocket of sorts. I mean, it's not very fast, but at least it's efficient on your pocket, and then it gets the job done. So not many people are going to complain about the performance. Only enthusiasts will be like, what is this? But then most enthusiasts will end up opting for the Swift. So with the Swift, they'll complain more. With the Dzire, they'll complain less. And Maruti Suzuki knows that, and that's the reason why they're like, it's okay. Downsizing is good, because I think it will be cheaper for them to manufacture the car. It will be cheaper for people to run the car. It will be more efficient, and it will obviously meet with emission norms. So many positives. By downsizing, only a negative in terms of dropping the power. If they had kept this 3-cylinder engine with more power, people wouldn't have complained. They're like, okay, chalo, cylinder reduce kiya, but at least we've got more power now. But how did they go from 90 to 82? I don't understand only. How did they go from 113 to 111.7? Okay, that's a minor difference. So I'm not really going to complain much about that. Let's stop here. Let's launch it and let's time it right away. Okay, let's go. I'm happy to report that the traction control does not turn off automatically. Usually that is the case, or rather turn on automatically with a lot of cars these days. So it completely is off all the time once you turn it off, obviously. Now the older Dzire, which is the 3rd generation Dzire, got only 2-star rating, and Maruti I think voluntarily sent both the generations of the car, the 4th and the 3rd generation. But that was a very wrong move. You know why? Because Maruti is like, let us prove how we have improved in safety from 2 to 5 stars. But they forgot one thing. They are going to still continue selling the 3rd generation model in a place where safety is even more important, because the 3rd generation model is going to soldier on as the Dzire Tour S for the cab market, which means that I am relying on someone driving the car who is driving the car day and night, who's going to be tired probably, who might tend to drive a bit rashly at times because he wants to do more trips in a day. The cab needs to be more safer, because the cab is going to run a lot more on the roads, and the cab is having 2-star rating. So that's something which is a bit disappointing. They really need to give this generation of the Dzire to cabbies as well. But they're like, let's sell the old stock, let the cabbies drive something which is dated. Come on, the cabbies also deserve a 5-star rated car. Now let's come to the pricing of this car. It starts at rupees 8 lakhs for the base variant, the LXI obviously, which I don't think Maruti even sells or gives to customers, because not to even dealers, because the dealers will obviously pull you or push you to upgrade to the VXI at least. So the trim levels are LXI, VXI, ZXI, ZXI Plus largely, and then obviously there's petrol, there's manual, there's automatic. All the gearboxes are 5-speed units, which is honestly quite dated. We need a 6-speed gearbox ASAP. So in terms of sales, this car is selling 11 to 13,000 units a month, which is a lot if you ask me. But almost 40% of the sales are coming from the cab market, so around 4 to 5,000 units a month from the Tour S only, which clearly shows that the price advantage of selling an older generation car is being passed on to the cabbies, and major chunk of the sales are coming from the cab market. And that's the reason when this car got 5-star rating, everyone was commenting, now my cab is safe. No, your cab is still not safe. Your cab is still having 2-star rating only. So If you opt for the automatic, you pay a premium of 72,000 rupees. For the CNG, you pay rupees 71,000 more. And this is the top end petrol manual, which is priced at rupees 11.38 lakh rupees. So the top end automatic is going to 12.1 lakh rupees. Okay, a slight bump. Little firmness is here or there, but it's not much. Overall prices have increased by rupees 83,000 for the top end variants, because now we have a sunroof, obviously. So it starts rupees 41,000 more when compared to before. So the prices of the new Swift and the old Dzire are actually the exact same. Okay, the car is turned off automatically. Now once I press the clutch, it turns on. Let's turn off the stop start system. Let me turn on the 360-degree camera, because why not? And let's reset this for the launch, which I'm going to do. There's a slope ahead, so I'm not sure how accurate it's going to be. Handbrake down, air conditioning off, revving the motor. Yeah, thankfully it revs. And off we go. Slick. And then obviously there's some wheel spin as well when you upshift. That's 14.5 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, which is sluggish. Imagine how fast the CNG would be. 69.5 horsepower and 101.8 Newton meters of torque. That's disappointing performance. But people who buy CNG, they're like, apne ko to efficiency chahiye, and then they are happy in their own zone. That said, the efficiency of the CNG version of the Dzire is more than the Swift. How is that even possible? But yeah, it is what it is, because probably not many people are interested in a Swift CNG, but Dzire CNG is like Uber's favorite. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check out the Aura, not the Hyundai Aura. This involved Elements Aura. It's an amazing car perfume. You can get yours with a 10% discount using coupon code FASTBEAM. Click somewhere on the top right corner of the screen right now. The camera is not good. Oh, it's working. Oh my god, it's showing me a side view. That's awesome. Bye-bye.